I lost the piece to my tripod, so I have to hold the camera. But we're just gonna let it flow like water. We're just gonna let it flow. It's a beautiful day, and we're just gonna go with the flow. So, a friend of mine visited DC from New York and noticed that there are a lot of spiritual people in the DMV. I feel like that's because it's a lot of energy here. Africans have traveled the world while others believed the earth was flat and they would fall off if they sailed too far into the horizon. There are roots and exchanges with the Native Americans prior to enslavement, such as the guinea hen. Of course, you have the history of the Native Americans here. A lot of the areas are still named after Native territories, such as Anacostia, the Anacostia River. There's even a road here that has some debatable history. It's called Indian Head. It's called Indian Head, which is supposed to be a road where Native Americans were beheaded. Their heads were lined up along that road. Now, there's some controversy whether that was from a rival tribe or from colonizers. The story of Pocahontas also took place in Virginia. And just imagine the energy of the Native Americans who had their land taken from them, who were invaded, knocked down to 1/3 of a nation, and all for riches that weren't even present here. If we go by the story of Pocahontas, they were looking for gold, and the natives tried to tell them that there was no gold there. You know, they had lived there for generations. If they had seen something like that, they would have told them. But yet, the invaders did not believe them and continued to try to take the land and to try to take what they thought was there. And it wasn't there. This was the first place the ships landed during the transatlantic trade. So just imagine the heavy energy of being taken from your home and transported in conditions that we can only imagine. And then being here, being sold, and then being forced to do things against your will for years, decades, centuries. Harriet Tubman was born here, born and freed herself from here, as well as countless others born in Maryland, freed countless people, and came back to repeat that cycle. Frederick Douglass was born here, freed himself, and his house is still in DC. Nat Turner was born in Virginia and led one of the greatest revolts in African Revolution known to date. We also have elders who experienced lynchings and then came here from the South to escape a lot of those adversities. My grandmother actually told me a story to where she was working on this farm picking cotton. She wasn't a slave, but that was just what you did to make money during that time. She came to DC. Basically, we hear the stories of our elders who may have picked cotton, who may have experienced different times, experienced Jim Crow, experienced things like that. And so that's something that, again, that's energy, and it carries with them from generation to generation. And then we hear those stories secondhand, and it has an impact. We hear the stories of people who have witnessed fires being burned in front of their homes, lynchings, a lot of brutality, mistreatment. And then to date, a lot of us are up the street and around the corner from the White House, Congress. So we have front row seats to a lot of political and government encounters. And I'm not going to delve too deep into that, but if you know, you know. These waters experienced a lot that we're surrounded by. The land. Imagine how many of our ancestors, African, Native American, imagine how many were buried here and their souls were taken here. Imagine, just imagine. I'm a person that believes that spirits don't just die or go away. That energy lives on. It lives on. And it lives on through each and every one of us. And the more that we allow ourselves to be open to receive that energy and to acknowledge it, to embrace it, to respect it, the more in tune we become with our surroundings, with those energies, with those spirits, and to be guided. And so those are just some of the reasons why I feel like people from the DMV are very spiritual and have a certain connection with the elements and our surroundings in this land. It's just so much energy here.